Hello, in this video I'm going to show you a couple of games in the BSH2 that kind of illustrate the two opposite ways of flying ground attack aircraft. This first game, it's very quick and I'm basically focusing on destroying the enemy aircraft. And it's a tier 4 game, which means I'm top tier. And BSH2, it's not really great in the anti-aircraft role, just because, well, mostly because it doesn't have a tail gunner, so it's a bit more vulnerable than the TSH 2 or 3 at tiers 2 and 3. But, well, it's still got decent firepower, it's got good hit points, it's got pretty good manoeuvrability and speed for a ground attack aircraft. But of course, none of that really matters when you're up against, or if you have a fighter on your tail. But basically you just have to do as much damage as you can, and well, if someone's on your tail and you can't shake them, then just keep trying to do damage to their allies. Or you've got 4 bombs, which are very useful at clearing your tail. Anyway, so far I've managed to put a few shots into enemy aircraft, but I haven't got any kills. And then I see this TSH-3 is coming around and it's going to go head on with me, and I'm okay with that. The other great thing about ground attack aircraft is they make excellent rammers, just because I've got a lot of armour and a lot of hit points, and, well, you're not going to live if you ram me unless you're, well, higher tier than me in a ground attack aircraft. Anyway, that's my second assist, and I almost get a kill on the 109B there when it comes up and almost rams me from behind. But wasn't to be. Put a few shots into the Focke-Wulf, 57 there. And just trying to clear the ridgeline so I can come around and get a decent shot on it. And I'm bringing my guns around, but my whole team, well, not my whole team. Anyway, get an assist on that Focke-Wulf 57, even though I didn't get any shots in at the end there. Last one left is this BSH2, but I can't quite put my nose down quick enough to do any major damage to it. And well, essentially I decide that the game's about to end, so I shall go and try and hit some ground targets before it does. And the reason I'm doing this is because in a ground attack aircraft, you don't actually get much experience at all, or credits for damaging aircraft. So you see there I got 1 kill, 3 assists, the sporting fire medal, and 730 experience. And as you can see, I was only the 3rd best on my team, even though I did the most damage, although a lot of that was ramming damage, but still, ramming damage counts. And I only made 8,000 credits. Now this is the second game, and well, as you can see, it takes up a lot longer than the first one. And it's also actually sped up. This is at 2 times speed, which means the audio is going to sound fun. And that's because, well, it takes a long time to play this match. And that's kind of the thing about ground attack aircraft. The games that you do really well in, they're usually because either the teams are really evenly matched and you essentially don't want to fight each other, or things kind of go wrong and you get an opportunity to hit a lot of ground targets. Anyway, we're already up 1 aircraft because one of the enemy ground attack aircraft have crashed. Well, the interesting thing about this match was that there were 3 ground attack aircraft on the enemy team and 2 on ours, and it's a 4x4, so it's very ground attack heavy. And because of that, I figured my job was to go straight out and try and get us ahead in superiority points. So me and the IL-2 up in here have gone to the north to start hitting ground targets, when the enemy Lag 3 appears, and that's the enemy's sole fighter plane. And it's managed to catch our 2 ground attack aircraft without escorts, as it were. You see, it's turned around on me, but my ally is putting some fire in, and I thought it was chasing me here, and I didn't notice it turned off, so I decided to go level out, expecting that it would line up behind me and allow my ally to kill it. But essentially it didn't chase me, it turned off and followed my ally. So I figured I'd better get back around there and help my ally out. I took out a couple of AA guns on the way, but also flew into a couple of trees. I really hate the trees on this map, I'm always flying into them. But anyway, got shots on the Lag 3 now, but not hitting them. A few hits. But our friendly fighter shows up and kills it for us. And now there's only 2 enemy aircraft left, and they're both ground attack aircraft, so I figure there's not really much point me saving my bombs. And in this game I only had the 20mm cannon, which just aren't very good at destroying armoured targets. Fully upgraded you get the 23mm cannons, which do much better. So I put myself into a stall there by accident, but doesn't matter, I just forgot that I'm actually at really high altitude. to drop the bomb, but at tier 5 games it takes 2 bombs to kill armoured targets, at least one's these big. And, well, the enemy ground attack aircraft, they're right over in the centre of the map, over our base as it were, and our fighter there is not engaging them. I was assuming at the time it was waiting for our other fighter to arrive so they could engage them on even odds, but well, you'll see what's going to happen. So 2 ground attack aircraft, a Ju-87G and a Whitaway, they shouldn't really be any challenge at all for a Corsair prototype in an F3F. Well, I suppose the F3F might have a bit of trouble just because the tail gunner of the Ju-87G could do a lot of damage to it. But, well, we've spotted the enemy ground attack aircraft, and I figure our fighters are going to do the job. My responsibility here is to kind of keep us ahead on superiority points, or actually put us back ahead on superiority points, and just act as a kind of a safeguard in case the fighters somehow manage to not succeed. The IL-2 I was with has decided the opposite, and that's gone to help shoot down the enemy ground attack aircraft. But I continue to hit the targets here. Unfortunately I've got no bombs left, so I can't take out this armoured target, but I can get a few superiority points by hitting the yellow targets around it. But with these 20mm guns, it's really not very good, the stock firepower of this gun, so I rely on fire. And just then, they actually managed to shoot down our F3F, which was a bit surprising, and it's put us way behind on superiority points, so I'm kind of more important now than ever. Our IL-2 just managed to kill the Ju-87G, so it's just the Whitaway left on the enemy team. Managed to destroy a ground target there and get working on my next one. And while that was happening, the Whitaway actually managed to kill our friendly IL-2. And, well, I've almost caught up on points, and every time I destroy a target it decreases the enemy's superiority lead by a little bit, so I'm pretty confident. Basically, I don't think the Whitaway will ever be able to actually keep up with me in a superiority fight. But, for some reason, our friendly, well, Corsair prototype, the XF4U-1, it's not engaging the Whitaway, it's actually flying away from it. I was thinking at the time maybe it's gone AFK, but it actually wasn't, I don't think. But anyway, the Whitaway is actually not very good at ground attack when it's got bombs, so I'm going to win this eventually. But it had a bit of a lead to start off with, so I've got to wind that back first. So it's going to take a long time for me to essentially win this game. And I was still expecting, right now, especially since you look on the mini-map, the Corsair is heading towards the Whitaway, where it's hitting ground targets. I was expecting it to go in and dive in and kill it, but it just never did. Instead it came and kind of flew around me for a bit, just to protect me in case the Whitaway shows up, is what you'd assume. But anyway, I've managed to get... I'm not quite hit on points yet, but I'm gaining points more rapidly than the enemy team is. But I'm mainly focusing now on taking out the AA guns, just because basically if I die now, you know, unless the Corsair actually kills the Whitaway, our team would lose, and I've got a tendency of flying into trees, so I don't want to lose any hit points that I don't have to. So I got the Thunder Medal there for doing 75 superiority points, which I've got quite a few of now, but they've basically all been in games like this, where, for whatever reason, there's a long spell where you're just hitting ground targets. So it's another ground target. I think that's evened up the points a lot, and destroyed that one. I think that's put our team in the lead. And coming back around for well, these points are undamaged. And I actually thought I almost hit the trees there, but not quite. I missed them quite well. Another target destroyed. So we're going to win eventually here. And, well, here's the Whitaway. Did the right thing, realised it had to kill me. And I was actually a bit concerned about engaging this guy because I don't have a tail gunner and it's more manoeuvrable than me. And with this altitude advantage, it can probably actually beat me in a fair fight. I decide to pitch up and do a lot of damage, but I don't quite kill it. The Corsair turns away from it, but I see the Corsair's turning back around, so I figure I can afford to hit a few ground targets, and there's a Corsair firing at it, leaves it on very few hit points. I try to get the kill here, but I stall, but I figure the Corsair is going to deal with that guy, so I break off to hit some ground targets. Don't do much against the armor targets, but the Warplanes actually turned on to me, and this is the worst case scenario, and the Corsair is not helping, but I managed to win on superiority. So you see, I actually managed to get the Thunder and Fire Breathing medals. Top of my team did hardly any damage to aircraft, but a lot of damage to ground targets. And, well, you see there, 16,000 credits and 2,000 experience, which is a lot more than the last game, or the first game I showed you. But I would say that I probably contributed equally to victory in both those games. Like, in the first game I did a lot of damage to enemy aircraft. I definitely helped put my, give my team a bit of an edge to allow us to overcome the enemy. In the second game I was kind of more fundamental, in that if I had have died in the first minute of the game, our team probably would have lost because for some reason that Corsair wasn't engaging the Willoway. And we would have been way behind on points without me sitting there hitting ground targets. But the rewards are very different, and that's kind of an odd thing about playing ground attack aircraft. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.